tonight. We're really excited to have you all here. I'm Haley, and we hope that you enjoy the night. And Brett and Kavi are just going to say a few words.
Hi everyone, thanks so much for coming. So JumboCode is probably my favorite thing about Tufts right now. For those of you who have, for those of you who haven't heard of us, we are a new student group just founded this year, and we are dedicated to help using software to better the world. So we develop apps, websites for nonprofits to best suit their needs. So the way that tonight's going to work, we're going to start with a quick presentation. The teams are going to talk a little bit about what they did, and then it's going to be kind of science fair style. So you'll be able to go around and talk to each member of JumboCode, learn about what their role was, have a chance to play with the app, and just get a general sense of what each team accomplished.
Yeah. So before we begin, I wanted to say a few quick thanks to people who helped us along the way. Huge shout out to Noah Mendelson, who's our faculty advisor, who's been immensely helpful this semester. Big thank you to Donna and Janine for helping us along the way. And I wanted to take a moment to reflect on JumboCode as a whole. When we started this club, we did not envision anything to this scale, and we are blown away. The students have made cool tech projects, but at the same time, they've made a community that is accepting and inclusive, and I am so grateful to be a part of it. So I was hoping to do a round of applause for the students involved in JumboCode. Thanks again for coming, and quick presentations from our project group.
Hi guys. One sec.
No, I just how many slides.
Oh no, this and the next one. Hi guys, my name is Aditya. I'm the project lead for the Boston Harbor Islands team. So as you can see, the Boston Harbor Islands are one of the largest subsidiaries of the National Park Service in Boston, one of the largest recreational spaces in Eastern Mass. The point of this project was that the Boston Harbor Islands have been having a lot of issues with scheduling and having people get access to what ferry schedules are like for the islands, and that changes based on the season and that kind of thing. So they really wanted a way to abstract away from having users go through a bunch of PDFs to actually find the schedule they need, and that's what our app is about. So my team's right here; they can introduce themselves real quick.
Hi, I'm Marcus. I was on the JavaScript/map team.
Hi, I'm Andrew. I was on the front-end team.
Hi, I'm Julia. I was on the front-end team.
I'm Adam. I did the interface and also on the front end.
Hi, I'm Liam. I kind of bounced around, but ended up in the back-end team.
Cool, yeah, so that was the majority of our team. We built our stuff using, as you can see there, Node.js, MongoDB. We found a really nice API for handling GTFS feeds. GTFS feeds are like the industry standards for showing schedules and stuff like this. It's what Google uses for Google Maps, that kind of thing. Bootstrap, jQuery, a lot of Bootstrap. jQuery, Heroku, Git. The big standard suite of stuff that's really good for developing stuff like this. Our project is about 70% complete right now. We're not 100% there yet, but it is basically functional. So you come out and check it out at our table later. Yeah, cool. Thank you.
I got the memo. Yeah. Oh, I screwed up. It's not plugged in.
Do you want to screw that in too? You start talking.
No.
We're good.
Cool. Hi guys, we're the Walnut Street Center team. I'm Yuki. I'm a sophomore. I'm the project lead. Wait, can you
I'm
introduce
Emily.
it?
I'm a front-end developer.
I'm Dan. I work on the back end.
I'm Nate. I also work on the back end.
I'm Ian. Front end.
I did our back end.
Oh, first, and I worked on the user experience.
I'm Lexi. I worked on the front end. So our client was the Walnut Street Center. They are a facility in the area that serves people with adults with developmental disabilities. They have day programs, they have residential programs, they have programs that help people find jobs and keep jobs, and just basically help rehabilitate adults with developmental disabilities.
So our problem was the state basically requires that this organization have certain information about these individuals, and the way that they manage this information was through spreadsheets and documents that different people had on different computers, so they were often out of date. They had incorrect information, and there was also some, in terms of like entering information, there was also some challenges there where people would enter incorrect information.
And then in terms of tools we used in the back end, it was a Postgres database, which we kind of like wrapped up entirely. We did like the schema and all the querying and stuff using SQL Alchemy. And then we used an awesome Flask extension called Flask Restless to create APIs.
Yeah, so what this did was we created a web app that allowed you to generate PDF dynamically, as well as edit and display the data from the backend, which is a Postgres server. Yeah.
So a big philosophy of our club was basically emphasizing the learning of each individual team member just as much as the progress of the project itself. Just because some person's more experienced with one thing or the other doesn't mean we're going to delegate it all to them. We're going to have people like struggle through it, because this is really the only place where you can really like get outside knowledge from like taking Comp 11, Comp 15. And it's not just like learning Django and Flask and things like that. It's really understanding what it's like to work in a big team like this, what it's like to have good communication, things like that. So we're also going to talk about one thing we learned. One thing I learned is how to handle a big team with a big back end. We had like over 50 variables because we have a bunch of patient information, and I really should have said, we're going to look at just the medical information or just the demographic information first, then start small and expand. So that's one thing I learned.
I came in with no experience past Comp 15 at that point, and I learned HTML and CSS and how to work with Bootstrap with a lot of support. So that was great.
So yeah, I learned about defining project scope. I think that was something that actually ended up being pretty important later on. And also working within some of the constraints with development.
Yeah, I also just like knew nothing coming into this and had to do a lot of catching up. And like, I don't know, literally everything that's up here is something new that I learned. Like I came in with good programming skills, and then but using how to use specific tools is such a different side of computer science. So.
I learned how important it is to standardize interfaces between components of projects.
So similarly to Katya, I came in knowing not very much, but like in addition to like all the stuff we saw there, I felt like specifically I learned a lot about standard programming conventions in terms of like Python and like how databases are built.
I learned a lot about how you can have like a different front end and back end sort of interacting, and why it's necessary to sort of do things in tandem rather than separate, and really talk to people a lot is really important. I also learned that it's the hardest part, or one of the harder parts about building a database is figuring out what you need to put in it. So working with Bryson and talking to people and figuring out what we needed to do was really important in that process.
I learned how to use the JumboCode framework, and I think I also learned how important it is and how valuable it is to have a great team leader like Yuki. He handled it beautifully, and he was so committed and dedicated. Really, I think it inspired us to bring our best foot forward. So it was Yuki for that. Yuki!
Thanks, guys.
Alright. So hi everyone, I'm Erica. I'm a junior and project lead.
Oh, I'm Eric. I'm a sophomore, and I just work here.
I'm Iris. I'm a freshman, and I'm just a member.
I'm Allie. I'm a junior, and I was part of this team. Let's not say that anymore. I'm a junior. I was on the front end.
I'm Isaiah. I'm a sophomore.
I'm Liz. I'm a sophomore.
I'm Anna. I'm a sophomore.
I'm Leia. I'm a freshman.
Great, so the team that we were on was the Greater Boston Legal Services, or GBLS team. So GBLS is an organization that provides critical legal advice and representation to low-income individuals, and the specific project that we were helping them out with was a collaboration between them and Reach Beyond Domestic Violence. So the project was specifically to help undocumented immigrants who were victims of certain crimes such as domestic abuse and human trafficking file for a U visa. So this is basically paperwork that will allow them to live and work in the US. In the process of filing for a U visa, a big bottleneck in that process can be actually writing the affidavit, so kind of creating a written statement about what has happened to you. So that's where our app comes in. So our goal is to create a web app with affidavit writing software. The basic concept was that users would view videos asking them affidavit-related questions, and then it would record them speaking the answers to those questions. So we needed audio recording, and we also needed to be able to transcribe that audio and kind of put it together into a cohesive affidavit. Priorities for us were allowing multilingual options, so for users who speak various languages. And also, we didn't want to make any assumptions about the technical literacy or literacy levels of our clients, so we needed to make our app kind of as user-friendly and easy to use as possible.
So for the front end, we use HTML, CSS, JavaScript, all the good basic stuff. We also use Bootstrap, like many others. And we use AngularJS to help manipulate our app and make it a lot cleaner and easier for us to manipulate.
And for the back end, we used Node.js to process HTTP requests. We used Postgres for our database, Firebase for authentication, Heroku for our server, and we used Git for version.
All right, thank you.
Hi, I'm Ryan. I'm our lead. Couldn't make it today, so I'm sort of subbing for him. But I'm part of the SAC team. So SAC is a student athlete advisory committee, and they're sort of here on campus to connect students with like athletes and their games, and sort of increase people that go to games and awareness about the games going on campus. So this is where our app comes in, our project. So they wanted us to build a photo stream app, sort of similar to Instagram, where when you went to a game, you could post a picture from that game, and you would get a certain amount of points if you posted a picture, and there would be some type of leaderboard to see who's attending the most games, and then eventually at the end of like the semester, there might be some type of prize or something for the person that attended the most games. You could also like check in at various locations on campus where a game was happening, and sort of tell your friends about it like that. And overall, it's just an iOS app that would like help you increase awareness about games going on and increase attendance at those games. Yeah. So we used Ionic to build the app. Ionic is a framework that uses Angular to create cross-platform apps through iOS and Android. So that's why we went with Ionic. The back end was created using Ruby on Rails. And there's also an administrative side, which is for the actual SAC committee that they can use, and that's also using Angular.js. So yeah, that's our app.
You want to tell Mike that it's your turn?
Mike?
So the dream client is actually on a Google Hangout right now, sitting in the front.
Oh, he's kidding.
Oh my god.
Okay, so hello, I'm Rob. I'm the project lead for the Dream team, and we were working this year with Dream, which is basically a mentoring organization that pairs mostly college students with youth from affordable housing neighborhoods to do activities with them, meet with them, provide support systems for them, and just try to prepare them for high school, college, and the rest of their lives. So,
Great. So our app, what Dream needed was a way to access the information about their mentees for each mentor. Because right now they have all the information about each mentee. They have name, health information, but there's no set way for each mentor to access it right now, or even do simple things like take attendance or evaluate data about their mentee. So our app kind of accesses their database and goes through and sorts this information and displays it in an easy way for our mentors to see, so that whenever they need to emergency contact their mentees or or kind of find out information about their mentees, it's there for them in an easy way.
So these are the technologies we used, pretty much the same as most of the other groups. We use Angular as a templating for the front end, and then the Node.js server software. That's all packaged together in an Express app, and then we use some Bootstrap styling to help with the CSS and user interface. Firebase is an encrypted database to hold our authentication credentials for Salesforce, which is the database, which is pretty much an SQL one, but with a little weird twist. And then it's going to all be hosted on Heroku.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Hi, I'm Max. I'm a sophomore, and I worked on the Peace Corps recipes team with the rest of my team over there. And JH, sorry. So what our project was working with the Peace Corps organization, which is an organization that runs volunteer trips throughout the world to help with various community service activities. But essentially what they wanted was, because Peace Corps has such a global reach into so many different countries around the world, their volunteers have found out a lot of recipes that they want to be able to aggregate and share with other people in the Peace Corps. So what we did was we created a web app that that has a database with all these recipes that you can search and add recipes to, basically. So so we use HTML and CSS like every other group. Also using Bootstrap for some of the styling on the front end. We used one of the big projects, or one of the first things we did this semester was switching what had been all JavaScript, pure like JavaScript, to AngularJS to kind of tighten up the code and make it a lot easier to navigate. And we used MongoDB as the database for it. We also use things like Heroku and Git to use version control and just hosting for the software.
Thank you to all the people who presented today. As you can see, we did a lot of really cool projects. And I guess now it's time for you guys to play with the things that our JumboCoders built. So if you're not a JumboCoder, I guess this is going to be kind of the science fair portion of the night. So feel free to get up and talk to all the teams, read the posters. And I guess even if you are a JumboCoder, you can also get up and like talk to other teams and see what they did. So thank you all for coming. Appreciate it. Yes.
And also, if you're it's okay. Clap for Brett. Clap for Brett. Awesome. If you guys are interested in becoming more involved or just want to talk to us more about JumboCode, the rest of the executive board will be around to answer any questions as well. Thank you.